All of the engines on Topham Hatt's Railway are really useful. Sometimes though, some of the engines can become quite conceited, and think that they are more important than all the other engines. One afternoon, Gordon and Spencer were resting in the yard, conversing loudly.
Well, I'd even go so far to say that my express is the most important part of the whole railway. My long, sleek coaches can pull 3 times as many passengers as Thomas's rinky-dinky old Annie and Clarabelle. Oh, I say! Watch out, you silly diesel!
Out of the way! I have a very important delivery here.
Unlike most of the steam engines onto Topham Hatt's Railway, the diesel engines, apart from Daisy the diesel rail car, don't usually pull coaches or passengers. They help out in their own way, hauling goods and freight across the island. Unfortunately, some of the engines take this to mean that diesels aren't as important or useful as steam engines are.
Hurry up and move already. I'm going to be late.
And what does it matter if you are late, Diesel? You're only pulling cars, after all.
Oh, yes. Smelly, dirty coal cars, too.
I'll have you both know that without this smelly, dirty coal, you wouldn't be going anywhere. So I'd be quiet if I were you.
Yes, Diesel, but everyone knows diesels don't usually pull coaches. In fact, I remember a certain diesel who came to Sodor thinking he was to pull an express and was left in disgrace with a bowler hat lodged in his intake pipe. Clearly, diesels aren't meant for mainline trains.
Or to act as a private engine.
Oh, what's so important about your silly coaches anyway? You're both ridiculous. You're wrong too! I can pull a passenger train any old-timer like you. Now move!
You couldn't pull a passenger train even if you wanted to.
You two are wrong! Just you wait and see!
Although Diesel didn't like to admit it, Gordon and Spencer's words had hurt his feelings and made him a little jealous.
Who cares? I don't need coaches or passengers. I'm fine with my trucks. Thank you very much.
Look out! Stop, Diesel! Be careful, Diesel. And don't come in so fast next time.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
We'll just unload our batch of coal, then you can be on your way.
Excuse me, but what happened over there? And where's their engine?
I think James was supposed to pull that train, but he had a problem with his piston rods. Stanley should be along in a little while to take the train for him. Then Diesel had an idea.
I'm going to park my cars in the siding so they'll be easier to unload.
Fine, Diesel, do what you must. So Diesel reversed his line of cars and put them onto another line in preparation for him to pull the coaches.
Now I'll show those rude steamies that Diesels can pull coaches, and I'll do a better job than any of them ever have. Oh, Diesel, you are a genius.
Soon after much maneuvering, Diesel was coupled to the train. A Diesel? You gotta be kidding me! You never get trashed like this out in Staten Island. Look, Mommy, a Diesel is going to take us to the next station. I've never seen that train before.
Get in quickly, please. We're already late enough as it is.
The passengers rushed into the coaches, and Diesel was off as quickly as you could say banana bread. Diesel was having the time of his life.
Next stop, Kildane Station. We have arrived at Kildane, everyone.
Passengers were all too happy to leave Diesel and his bumpy coaches behind as they stumbled out and onto the platform. Diesel, not realizing that he had to wait for the new passengers to get on and the guard to blow his whistle, started off before the coaches were even closed. "Hey Diesel, wait, we're not ready, don't go yet." But Diesel was off, convinced he knew what he was doing. Meanwhile, Sir Topham Hatt was inspecting the chaos that Diesel had left behind at Knapford station.
How could this have happened?
Well, we were having fun with this plant that Wilbur gave us, and I don't know what the plant was, but like, it's fun.
Sir?
Quiet, Winston, I'm trying to think. Do you have any idea where he might have gone?
None, sir.
Excuse me?
Excuse me, sir, but I think Winston is trying to tell you something important.
Alright, what is it, Winston?
Don't you think Diesel maybe just went to the next station, sir?
Well, ah, yes, Winston, that would make sense. Thank you. That's brilliant. Let's go, you two, and find that Diesel.
Meanwhile, Diesel was having some difficulties of his own. He had never pulled a passenger service on the main line before, and it was clear he had no idea what he was doing. His passengers hadn't been let off at the right stops, and neither his driver nor the guard could convince Diesel to slow down, stop, or turn around. He was too insistent on proving Gordon and Spencer wrong.
Those agents said that I couldn't do it, but look at me now! I'm doing a splendid job!
Then there was trouble. Diesel's signal went red, but he was going too fast to notice. Suddenly, he saw Henry heading straight towards him, pulling a goods train.
Yes! Look out, Henry!
Diesel tried to put on his brakes, but it was no use. He careened towards Henry at full speed.
Oh no!
Luckily, a quick-thinking signalman diverted Diesel onto a runaway line. He got out of the way just as Henry thundered through the junction.
I won't! No!
Diesel! What on earth are you doing?
Well, that didn't go as planned as I thought.
So Topham Hatt, Stanley, and Winston were in hot pursuit of Diesel when suddenly they encountered an irritated-looking Henry and a concerned signalman waiting by the tracks. Ugh, would you mind turning on your brake signal next time?
What on earth is going on here? Have either you seen Diesel? He's causing absolute pandemonium today.
Yes, sir. Diesel went down the, runaway line.
You've got to be kidding me. Did he seriously drag a train full of passengers down an unsafe railway line? Please tell me no one is injured.
Luckily, no one was hurt. Diesel's heroic actions prevented a much more severe accident from occurring. So Topham Hatt, Stanley, and Winston raced down the main line to find Diesel.
Well, you've certainly caused your fair share of trouble today, haven't you, Diesel? What on earth were you thinking, Diesel? Taking a passenger train without permission and abandoning your job, causing confusion and delay? Explain yourself.
Well, sir, I just wanted to feel really useful for once.
You are useful, Diesel. You know that.
Yes, sir, of course, but I'm not useful enough to pull coaches. Gordon and Spencer told me so. They say only important, really useful engines get to pull coaches.
Oh, Diesel, I know your usual jobs aren't very glamorous, but they are very important. And if you want to pull coaches every once in a while, I'm sure that could be arranged. But you must learn how first. Passengers and freight are two very different things, you know.
Yes, sir. I should have listened, but I was so busy trying to prove Gordon and Spencer that I could pull passengers that I didn't think about my repercussions of my actions. I'm very sorry, sir.
Yes. And just so you know, I'll be speaking to Gordon about how important it is to remember that all my engines are important. And I'll implore the Duke to do the same to Spencer.
Thanks, sir.
A few days later, Diesel was good as new, fresh from the diesel works. He was busy shunting cars in the yard when Gordon and Spencer puffed up, looking rather sheepish.
Diesel?
Oh, what do you two want?
We, just wanted to apologize for the way we treated you the other day.
Yes, Diesel. We know, that you are useful, even if you don't pull your coaches like us.
And, speaking of that, we wanted to offer to help you learn how to pull passengers, if you wanted.
That's very nice of you. But I'll have to pass for now, at least. Passengers are way too much work for me. I much prefer freight cars. Not that either of you two know much freight cars, because you're much too useful for cars.
Yes, well, we've all had our fair share of freight trains, haven't we? And if we didn't have engines like you, who knows where we'd get our coal? We wouldn't be able to pull our very important trains without you, Diesel.
Diesel beamed with pride, realizing that no matter what kind of job he did, he would always be a really useful engine.